Hi there, good morning and welcome to our Angelic Hatha Yoga class. This is a class which is going to be accessible for everyone if it's your first time doing yoga or if you're a practice yogini. Please just enjoy the class, take it at your own pace. If anything feels too much for you, then just pull back, maybe rest in child's pose or just lie down on your mat. But first of all, the important thing is to just enjoy the class. So thank you for joining me. We're going to come onto our mats, either in easy seated or a half lotus pose, whatever feels good for you. Hands can be on your knees or in your lap, with the right hand sitting on top of the left and the thumbs joined together. If you feel comfortable, you may wish to close your eyes. And as we're here, just noticing our breathing. Is it fast? Is it slow? Start taking some deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth, maybe sighing out, letting go of any tension that you may be feeling. And just settling into this pose, noticing where you come into contact with the mat, maybe sending out energy as though you're rooting into the ground in this position. So in today's class, we're going to be working with the Archangel Michael and also focusing on our Visshudi, our throat chakra. Archangel Michael is one of the seraphim, that's the highest order of angels, and in fact he commands all the other archangels. He's the only angel that's actually mentioned by name in all the sacred texts of all the major world religions, so I think that shows just how powerful he really is. He fights evil with the power of good. Michael is an exceptionally strong angel who protects and defends people. He's concerned with truth and justice and speaking the truth, which is why it's linked to our Visshudi, our throat chakra. Archangel Michael carries a sapphire blue flame sword with him, and it's associated with empowerment and development of the Visshudi Chakra. As we're sitting here, try to visualize the blue light of Archangel Michael. Imagine it coming down in a tube from the heavens, surrounding you, merging with your own energy field. Our Visshudi Chakra in our throat is linked to communication and harmony and truth. When the throat chakra is in balance, we speak, listen, and express ourselves openly and authentically. When it's out of balance, we tend to ignore our inner voice, feel afraid of expressing ourselves, or have trouble in listening to others. So maybe just thinking which of those feels true to you today. Do you feel your throat chakra is maybe misaligned a little? Or are you feeling spot on there? Another way that we can feel it's misaligned is we may have tension in our neck or our shoulders. So we're going to ask Archangel Michael to join us now as we visualize that blue light. Archangel Michael, please open, align, and balance my throat chakra as I draw in the will to evolve, so that I may know the plan and purpose of my soul and express its creative intelligence into form. So mote it be. When you feel ready, opening your eyes and just bringing yourself back to where we are together on the mat. And we're going to do some work on our Visshudi Chakra, our throat chakra. We're going to do what's called a Jalandhara breath, a chin lock. So we're going to inhale, take a lovely deep breath, exhale, Tilt the chin to the chest and hold our breath here as long as you can. When you feel the need, inhale. Raise the head back up. By doing this, we're awakening our Visshudi Chakra, our throat chakra, which will help us to have clear communications. When you're ready, big inhale. Exhale. Chin to the chest. Hold the breath for as long as feels comfortable. When you need to inhale, raise the chin. Once more, big inhale. Exhale. Expel all the air. Chin to the chest. Holding the breath here. Inhaling when you need to. I'm going to start stretching out our shoulders now. As you know, I'm quite grumbly, quite niggly in my shoulders. So we're going to take one arm across, gently pulling it with the opposite arm, being careful that we're not pressing on the shoulder joints, on the elbow joints. Giving it a lovely stretch. Taking some deep breath here. So as we said before, imbalances in our throat chakra can lead to stiff necks and stiff shoulders. So it's really good to stretch them out, do some exercises to help release them. Release that arm down, other arm comes across, pulling it gently across the body. You may want to look over that shoulder if it's available to you, or if it's too much, just having your head facing forwards. When you're ready, let that go and just roll the shoulders round. I'm going to be doing some shoulder shrugs now. So on an exhale, we lift one shoulder, let the other drop. Inhale back to centre. Exhale the other way, lifting the shoulder up to the ears. Inhale back to centre. Exhale, shrugging the shoulder up. Inhale. Exhale, shrugging the shoulder up, trying to drop the other shoulder away from the ear. Inhale back to centre. Exhale, shrugging up. Inhale back to centre. Exhale, shrugging up. Inhale back to centre, one more on each side. Shoulder coming up, trying to touch our ears as the other shoulder drops away. Inhaling back to centre. Exhaling. Last time, dropping it down. Just give those shoulders a little roll and hopefully you're feeling a little looser in the shoulder and the neck now. You may want to just circle the neck. Let go of any tension. I've got all sorts of pops and cracks going on in mine. Head back to centre. With our hands on our knees, we're going to do some Kundalini circles. So we're going to be circling around, starting to get some movement into our hips and our spine. Exhaling as we feel forwards. Inhaling as we stretch away to the back. Inhaling forwards, exhaling to go away. You may need to use your knees as levers if you want to start getting some shoulder action in there, stretching through your shoulders. Once more this way and then swapping directions. Inhaling forwards, exhaling back. and coming back to centre. So there is a legend in the Vedic texts, which are the ancient Hindu texts, that says that the world was created from a primordial vibration. And vibrations are great for releasing any trapped energy that we may have. So we're going to do our Brahmari breath, our B breath now. Our thumbs go on our tragus little flaps in our ears, and the rest of our hands just meet like a little head, a little hat above our heads. We take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, joining our lips together and making a buzzing sound, you should be able to feel lips vibrating. So inhale. As we exhale, inhale, exhale. You may be able to exhale a little longer than me. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling, exhaling. This final one, you may want to imagine blue light coming from your throat chakra. Fantastic. Rolling those shoulders back one last time. We're going to come into our tabletop position, onto all fours. Just maybe circling through here, pulling those core abdominals in, starting to release those hips. We've been sitting for a while, curling the toes under and pushing back into downward dog. Pushing through the hands, trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Once you can pedal through the feet, walking the dog. Lengthening through the spine, pushing the hips up into the air. And let's inhale, hooking our feet forwards, folding forwards. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up into prayer position. We're going to come into the centre of our mat now and work through a Chandra Namaskar. We're going to do a moon salute this morning. Lots of lovely positions in this one. We're going to take it nice and slowly first and then do it another couple of times, building up the speed a little bit. One of the poses in this is our goddess pose. And we've chosen this pose because every archangel has a twin flame, an archai, a female angel that works alongside him. And Archangel Michael's twin flame is a lovely lady called Faith, and they work together to protect us, to help us to manifest our needs. So our angels, our archangels and our archai are here with us this morning to protect us and support us in our practice. So we're going to start in our mountain pose, rolling the shoulders up, back and down. Taking a couple of breaths here just to ground ourselves. Feel your feet planted firmly on the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up, interlace the fingers and push them up to the ceiling as our gaze rises to the ceiling. Inhale, stepping the foot to the side, bending the knees, turning the feet out slightly. Arms, top arms are parallel to the floor and arms in cactus pose as we come into our goddess pose. Again, visualising the blue light of Archangel Michael and Lady Faith. Turning our back foot and our front foot, folding from the hips. If your bottom hand can reach your ankle, fine. If not, you may want to come just above your knee. Extending the other arm up to the ceiling, opening through the chest. Gaze towards the top hand. On an inhale, Top hand comes down, folding towards that front leg. It may help if you want to put a slight bend in the front leg. On the back leg, pulling up the kneecap, engaging those glutes. Lovely strong pose here. Turn foot down, knee to the ground, finding our balance, raising up into a low crescent lunge. Gaze up to the sky, up to the heavens. Hands to the floor, tuck the toes on this foot, leaning over to the side in a half squat. Use your hands to help you walk over to the other side. Really feeling a lovely stretch down our hamstrings here. If the front foot comes off the floor a little, so be it. Turning our back leg so our knee is on the floor, coming up, leaning into the front leg, stretching through the hips. Slight back bend if that's available to you for a low crescent lunge. This is the trickiest part of the whole sequence now. Front hands come down to frame the front foot. Tuck the toes, raising up with the back foot turned out slightly, folding forwards over that front leg. Again, if you need a micro bend on it, that's absolutely fine. On an inhale, our hand comes to the side of the foot, opening up through the body, chest opening up, scissoring that back leg away, turning the thigh out slightly, looking up to our raised hand if it's available, or if not, just keeping the neck straight in line with the body. Turning the toes, pushing ourselves back up into our goddess pose. Few breaths here. Stepping this leg back together. Arms sweep up, interlaced, looking up. Back into Tadasana, rolling our shoulders up, back and down. So that was our Chandara Namaskar, our moon salute. We're going to do it again now, a little bit quicker. So inhale, arms coming up, interlaced. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, turn the back foot, coming into our revolved triangle. Looking up to that hand. Folding over that front foot, you may want to turn your back foot. Dropping the back knee to the floor. Crescent lunge. Hands come to the centre of the mat. Coming over into our half squat without falling over. Using the hands to walk us over. Half squat on the other side. Turning to drop that back knee. Coming up into our low crescent lunge. This is the tricky bit now, tucking the back toes. Folding over the front leg. Hand to the side, extending up into our revolved triangle. Oh, I've lost an ear. Coming up into our goddess pose. Stepping back, arms sweeping up. Palm tree. Arms back and down into mountain. Fantastic. Once more. Arms sweeping up, interlacing the fingers. Stepping out to the side, goddess. Turn the back foot. Roll triangle. Folding forwards over that front leg. Dropping the back knee. Raising up. Hands to the centre of the mat. Our half squat. Over to the other side. Drop that back knee. Coming into our low crescent lunge. Hands to the floor. Pushing up into our forward fold. Twist into the side, opening up through the chest. Up into our goddess. Stepping the feet back together, sweeping the arms up. And coming back to rest in our mountain pose with our arms up, back and down. Fantastic work, well done. We're going to come into a little standing sequence now. So we're going to start off with our tree pose. Planting our feet firmly on the floor. Just take a minute to imagine roots coming out through your feet, spreading into the ground surrounding you. Taking a couple of breaths here. When you feel ready, transferring the weight over onto one foot, lifting the other foot. You can either rest your toes on the floor, heel just above your ankle. You may want to press the sole of your foot into the shin or coming up above the knee. I'm going to go for the mid option. Hands into prayer position. Focus on a drishti, a focus point, straight ahead of you. Pushing the foot against our supporting leg. It doesn't matter if we wobble a bit, because all trees, even the strongest ones, wobble a bit in the wind. So where Archangel Michael has his temple of light, there's always a point here on earth where they say that the temple is, and Archangel Michael's is in Canada. So lots of tall trees there. On our next inhalation, bringing the knee up, hugging it in, making sure we're lovely and firm through that standing foot, pulling the kneecap up, engaging the glutes. You may wish to stay here, or if it's available to you, you can hook 2 fingers around the big toe and start to straighten the leg up. You may wish to turn it out to the side, or that may throw you off balance. Taking a few breaths here. If it gets too much, you can go back to hugging your knee in into our standing wind reliever pose. If you start to lose your balance, releasing that foot down. Back foot's going to turn in slightly. Our front foot is going to forwards. We're going to bend through the front knee, raising up into our warrior one. Our hands are pointing to the sky and our thumbs are pointing back behind us. So as we said before, Archangel Michael is the leader of all the angels. He's a warrior angel, and we are proud, strong warrior women here. Our thumbs are pointing backwards to the legion of angels behind us, and they've all got our back. On an inhale, lowering the leg, the arms, straightening through the front leg. With the back leg, I'm going to move backwards a little bit. The back leg just touching the floor, and imagine from that heel to the tip of your head, you've got a straight line. Can you start leaning forwards into that front leg, raising the back leg? You may find, if you just want to find your point of balance, you may be like this. That's absolutely fine. You may want to lean forwards so your body is parallel with the floor. Pulling up through the kneecap again on the supported leg. Pulling the abdominals in. At any point you want, you can lower that back foot. Maybe wobbling a bit, that shows the muscles are working, that's fine. Lowering the back foot. Turning the toes on the front foot. Bending into that front knee. Looking over our front hand into our warrior two. This position is said to have developed, according to the mythologies, from when there was a god who chopped off one of his dreadlocks and threw it to the ground to become a mighty warrior. And when it went to fight, it was thrusting its sword forwards, which is how this pose came to be. On an inhale, lowering the back hand towards the leg, looking up at that raised top hand. Taking some breaths here as we're in our reversed warrior. Maybe with the hand up to the sky, we can visualize that blue light coming down again in the tube to surround us. When you're ready, releasing the hands down. Hands come forward to frame the front foot, back into our downward dog. You may want to rock a little bit, push through the shoulders. Fingers nice and wide on the floor. You may find that your feet come a little lower this time. Pulling the abdominals in, raising the hips to the ceiling. Making sure that our head is free. You may want to nod the head yes. Shake the head no, just to make sure it's released. Stepping forwards between the hands. Sweeping the arms up to the sky. Hands in prayer position. Coming back to the front of our mat. Fantastic. We're going to, hopefully you can remember which foot you did your tree on. With the other foot, rooting it down into the ground. And lifting our opposite foot up. Again, it can rest on the ankle, on the shin, or on the inner thigh. Hands come together into prayer position. If it's available to you, you may want to raise them to the sky. Again, visualizing that blue light. Focus on a point straight ahead, your drishti point. Releasing the hands back down, hugging that knee into the chest. Remembering to hold below the joints so we don't damage ourselves. Rooting through that base foot, spreading the toes out, pulling up through the kneecap, engaging that glute. If it's available to you, holding around the toes, extending the foot out. Woo, wobbly on this side this morning. You may want to hold it out to the side. I always develop jazz hands at this point. Holding here for a couple of breaths. If you want to go back to our standing wind reliever pose, that's absolutely fine. Releasing the foot back down. Turning our feet, front foot facing forward, back foot out a little. Bending into that front knee. Arms raised up, thumbs pointing back to that legion of angels behind us. You are strong, powerful women. And I love how in our groups we all support each other. With my lovely yoga ladies and my lovely press switch plodders. And all my friends, we all support each other and help empower each other. Because we are very powerful together. Lowering the arms. Finding that point of balance, strong through that front knee, pulling up through the kneecap. And step back a little. Folding forwards. So our warrior three. Whoops, daisy. You may find that there's always one side that you've got better balance on than the other. Trying to elongate from the crown of the head to that pointed toe. Whether you're folding forwards or whether you're starting to find your balance, it's absolutely fine. It's your practice. Releasing the back foot down, turning the front foot, leaning into that front knee as we come into our warrior two. Looking over the front arm, our sword arm, making sure we're so strong and powerful. Revolving round, leaning backwards, lovely. Back bend here. Looking up to that top hand if we can, or keeping the head straight if that feels more comfortable to you. Hands come down to frame that front foot as we push back into our downward dog. If you want to, you can pedal through the feet to walk the dog. Or you may want to just hold it here. Dropping the knees to the floor, coming into our tabletop position. And again, just having a bit of a rock and roll here, a bit of a disco cat, moving however feels good for you. Maybe in a figure of 8, or round in circles, just to free ourselves up. From here, we're going to move one of our knees forward so it becomes parallel with the short edge of our mat. You may want to use your hand to just pull it forwards. The closer that is into the groin, the easier it's going to be. Or you could have it parallel to the mat if you want. With the back leg, kneel and toeing it away so it stretches out behind you. You can either stay here, or you may want to put your hands, one on the knee, one on the foot, a slight back bend looking up. If it's available to you, kicking the back foot up, flexing the foot. You may want to grab that foot with one or even both hands, which helps pull out through our shoulders, again freeing up that throat chakra, helping with our communication. Releasing the back foot down, hands come to the floor, releasing the leg back, pushing back into our extended child's pose. Oh, that feels nice on the hip that we've just had at the front. Feel some release there. Our child's pose is quite a comforting position. We're folding forwards, we're almost enveloped by the angel's wings as we're in this position. Coming back up onto our all fours, bringing the other knee forwards again. If you want to position it with your hand, you can do, that's fine. Kneel, knee and toe, the other leg back. Again, you may want to stay here. There's an option to come down onto your forearms if that feels good. You may want to have a hand on a knee, a hand on the ankle to start that back bend. If it's available to you, kicking the back foot up, flexing the foot, taking it a stage further. You may want to hold that back foot with one or both hands. I'm popping in my shoulders again. Pushing the foot into the hands if you're in this position. Feeling a lovely stretch through the shoulders as well as through the front of our thighs. Just taking a few breaths here. Releasing down, rolling onto our bottoms and sending our feet straight out in front of us. Our feet are flexed. We're going to raise up through the body, so we've got a thread pulling us up through the ceiling and folding forwards from the hips. If your hands come to your shins, fine. Your ankles, that's fine. Or you may be able to grab around your toes and pull yourselves forwards. On an inhale, we lengthen, stretch. On an exhale, folding forwards. It's a little too strong down the back of your legs. You can have a micro bend on your knees. On an inhale, walking your hands back up, coming into a lovely straight staff pose. We're going to take one leg, pull it up and put it just outside the knee on our straight leg. Depending on the length of the bottom part of your leg, you may want your leg higher or lower down. Remember, it's your practice and it's what feels good for you. Taking the opposite hand, hugging the knee in, our other hand comes round the back, pulling up and extending round. The hand behind us, we can use that to help propel us round and maybe look over our shoulder. Holding it here for a few breaths again. Inhaling as we lengthen. Exhaling as we rotate. When you're ready, releasing back round. Let the leg come down. You may want to just give them a little shake. I'm going to do that on the other side now. Leg comes over with a bent knee flat on the floor. Hug that arm in, the knee in, rotating round. If it's available, you may want to look over that shoulder. So this pose is called Mariki Asana. It was named after a sage called Mariki. He was a very learned man. And Mariki actually means ray of light. So again, back to our intention, we can focus on the sapphire blue ray of light surrounding us with protection, helping to clear our throat chakras, helping us to speak the truth, speak wisdom, and to listen openly. Releasing that leg back down, giving them a little shake if that feels good. We're going to come down to lying on our backs into what in Pilates we will call our relaxation position. Just take a couple of breaths here, feeling the mat below us, feeling as our spine lengthens into the mat. We're going to float our legs up and grab around the soles of our feet, either from the inside or the outside, whichever feels good for you, or you may prefer to tuck around the big toe. Our feet are almost as though we're trying to stand on the ceiling, our knees coming in towards our armpits, into our happy baby pose. If you want to, you can kick the feet around a little bit, rocking from side to side, being careful that we don't, whoops-a-daisy, completely topple over. You may want to stretch our feet, our legs up into teddy bear pose if that feels good for you, or staying in happy baby. It's your practice. It's what feels good for you. I quite like teddy bear. I like the stretch down the hamstrings personally. Releasing the legs back down, and a lovely long line on our mats. Arms come up and over our head, feet pointing away from us in a lovely full body stretch. As we release the arms down, we're going to put our hands under our bottom and come up into a sitting pose, just removing the cushion that we've got there for later. Sitting on our hands as the legs come out straight, lowering down onto our elbows, opening up through the chest, releasing the head back. If you can manage it, if it's available to you, you may want to release the head so the crown of the head is on the mat. This is fine for me like this in our inversion, our fish pose. Taking a few breaths here. Release the hands from underneath our bottom and come into Savasana, our corpse pose. At this point, if you want to make yourselves comfortable, you may want a cushion under your head or put a jumper on, another layer. I'll just give you a minute or two to get yourselves ready, lying flat on your back if that's comfortable for you. If not, you may want to lie on one side or the other, but just get yourself nice and comfortable. So when we're settled here, just feeling where the body comes into contact with the mat, all the different points of contact, noticing how your body's feeling. Do you feel tired from the practice? Do you feel energized? Were there any areas of tightness at the beginning that now feel better? Hopefully you don't feel any worse with the practice anyway. And just noticing how your body's feeling. So whilst we're in this pose with our eyes closed, if that's available to you, we're going to start with a little sound bath. I'm going to use my beautiful Tibetan singing bowl to just let some vibrations wave over our body. As we do this, you may want to just enjoy the sound, you may feel the vibrations, but try and visualize blue light surrounding you as the bowl sings. Now we're going to come to meditation to be with Archangel Michael. Mighty Archangel Michael, I ask you to empower me. I acknowledge that I have free will, so I now choose a life path of joy and freedom. If it is appropriate to my spiritual path, give me the sword of freedom. I promise to use it only for the highest good of all. As we lay here, imagine yourself enveloped by the energy of Archangel Michael and allow yourself to be raised upwards on a spiral of pure sapphire blue light. Slowly, the spiral raises you higher and higher, but you feel yourselves held perfectly safe in angelic arms. You find yourself in Archangel Michael's Temple of Light overlooking Lake Louise in Canada. The temple is round, inlaid with gold, diamonds and sapphires. There are 4 entrances marking the 12, 3, 6 and 9 o'clock lines of the focus, forming a square platform beneath the temple. Each entrance has a 40-foot golden door, approached by 49 steps. Blue sapphires adorn the golden doors and the golden dome in a radial pattern. Beautiful gardens, fountains, and white marble benches surround this temple. The pyramid-shaped altar is made of white and blue diamonds. The colour of the flames ranges from a deep sapphire blue to a pastel, almost white shade. The seats that surround the altar in concentric rings accommodate thousands of angels. 2 large balconies form circular rings inside the temple. As Archangel Michael says, it's a standing room only. The flame in the centre rises towards the golden dome, which is studded with blue sapphires on the outside and blue diamonds on the inside. Archangel Michael leads you to his sword room, where you see row upon row of swords. Each sword is already assigned to those who are meant to have one. The ones who carry the sapphire blue flame of freedom. Each sword is identical in respect to the authority that it carries, bringing freedom and protection. However, every sword is very different in appearance, just as we are. Archangel Michael hands you your sword and gives you the authority to use it. Take a short while to just look at your sword. How do you perceive it to be? The name of your sword is written on it in the language of light. You're also given a special secret symbol which is placed within your own energy field. This crystalline symbol must be in balance with your energy field, or your sword will be rendered useless. This moment with Archangel Michael in his sword room is a very special moment in your spiritual path. Archangel Michael bids you farewell and asks that you return to your physical body and the place which you are in physically. Taking a moment to again feel the mat underneath your body, starting to get some movement into our bodies as we wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes, have a little fidget. When you feel ready, rolling over onto your side, maybe coming into a baby position with your knees drawn up. Starting to just be aware of the noises where you are. Maybe there's a clock ticking in the room, maybe you can hear birds outside or traffic or the other people in your household. Pushing yourself up into a sitting position, and when you feel ready, opening your eyes. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me this morning. I've absolutely loved sharing it with you, and I feel that the angels have loved working with us as well. So put our hands together, our hands to our heart centre, nod our head to our hands, our heart to the earth. Namaste. Peace be with you. Thank you for joining me today.